I mean, I have a lot of TVs coming in and out of the studio, but it's not that often that I actually upgrade my main home living room TV. But when they reached out and said, do you want to try our new LG OLED Evo AI G6, this guy right here, one of the best TVs you can buy in 2026, I thought, why not? Let's give it a go. So in this video, I'm gonna show you my setup, tell you what I like, a couple of things that could still be improved, what's updated with this new G6 version, and also show you something else, a second TV, which I will reveal later in the video. Because first, with the help of my brother Pete, who was not at all jealous, we got to unboxing and setting up my shiny new 77-inch G6, which actually, to my surprise here in the UK, is actually cheaper than last year's model when it launched. And of course, I'll put a link below in the description if you fancy checking this out for yourself. So they announced this back in January at CES, but now you can buy it, and it's already got tons of awards for like Best TV and Most Innovative. Should I do my own Tech Chap Awards? Would anyone care? Probably not. Anyway, it's already got some rave reviews. As I say, this is the 77-inch I've got in my living room here, but it also comes in a 55, a 65, and an 83. Before we even talk about the picture and all the fancy upgrades, two of my favorite things about this TV. Number one, this. The flush fit gallery design. Super low profile, it barely sticks out from my wall. It just makes the whole thing look smarter and less intrusive in my living room. But you can still maneuver it while mounted to access ports on the back, which, as you would expect, include 4 full-fat HDMI 2.1s, with this one also supporting eARC for your soundbar or speaker system. I have LG's latest sound suite set up here, and more on that in a moment, but I've also routed the power cable behind my wall to give me a cleaner setup. The second thing is how this handles reflections, because while this is a very fancy TV, and if you do have a nice cinema room where you can black everything out, good for you, I don't. This is my living room. I've got a big sort of bifold door thing here. I've tried to block out some of the light just for my filming here, but you can't escape windows and light sources, and so you need this TV to handle reflections well. It does a remarkable job, and to give you a bit of context, I actually set up last year's LG G5, and while this is like the worst case scenario, the G6 is much better at reducing the reflection, the glare. The only downside is this kind of purpley cast, which can be a little bit distracting. So it's not perfect, but even compared to last year's TV, this is a proper step up. Now, of course, the first thing you should do with any new tech product is check for updates. And there have been a couple since launch, which have fixed some of the earlier brightness and Dolby Vision HDR issues that a couple of early reviewers called out. That all seems to be sorted now, which is great news. And this is your WebOS 26 home screen. And if we just go off to the left, this is your new customizable My Page, where you've got a selection of widgets. There's also the usual home dashboard for connecting other smart devices and switching inputs. It's all very intuitive and fast, particularly with the AI Magic Remote. It is a nice remote control. It's very functional. We've got some of the streaming app shortcuts down there. You've got the scroll wheel. You can use the air mouse and navigate around and input text more quickly than just sort of clicking around. But it is basically the same remote we've had for years now. And I know for a fact in some other markets and in Asia, you get a fancy metal version of this remote, which would be nice because this doesn't feel quite as premium as the rest of the TV. We've got all your usual streaming apps, of course. I've also downloaded Xbox and GeForce Now game streaming apps. I've got Spotify. Everything else to one side though, just look at this thing. Movies, TV shows, gaming, it is absolutely stunning. Now, I'm not saying you should come over to my house and sit on my sofa and watch TV with me because that might get a bit weird quickly, but it is the only way of fully experiencing this TV. Watching this, a compressed YouTube video, does not do this TV justice. With this new panel and their Brightness Booster Ultra tech, we have the highest full screen and peak brightness we've ever seen on an LG OLED. So LG's Brightness Booster Ultra technology combines its light and color boosting algorithm and architecture for up to 3.9 times higher peak brightness versus the B6. But what's also really important is LG's perfect black and perfect color with 100% color fidelity and 100% color volume, together with the OLED's infinite contrast, ensures that this extra brightness actually looks better and not just washed out. But the result is a more vibrant, more accurate image without sacrificing contrast or color accuracy, and we get smoother color gradients and less banding. Now, most of the time I use the Expert Bright and the Cinema Home picture modes, but I kind of hate myself for saying this. The new Enhanced mode, if you turn down motion smoothing, actually looks really good, and not like the usual horribly oversaturated Vivid. Maybe not for the cinematic diehards, you've got Filmmaker mode for that, but at the end of the day, you've got plenty of options to suit your taste, and you can still create your own personalized picture mode. So the big upgrades, we've got the better anti-reflectivity, we've got the higher brightness, we've got the better color, we've also got a brand new chip powering this thing. the Alpha 11 AI processor 4K Gen 3 with dual AI engine, to be exact. This handles all the processing and upscaling of the 8.3 million self-lit pixels, refining the sharpness, the texture, brightness, color, and the improved AI super upscaling can process images faster. We've also got these AI picture and sound and brightness and genre modes, which you can either have on or off, but it's very helpful if you just want the TV to do all the thinking for you and give you the best image. Have a look at this as well. We've got this new AI HDR remastering option, which essentially upscales SDR to HDR, which gives you even better dynamic range and brightness from SDR content. It is turned off by default, but I think it's worth having a play with. Show me Top Gun Maverick.
These are the results from Top Gun Maverick.
Turn the brightness down.
The screen has become darker by 1 level.
So this AI hub is really useful as it combines the AI chatbot where you can change system settings, ask it questions like, change this picture mode, brightness, turn it off and on. Particularly useful if you're not as tech savvy, so you can access different system settings, but also the AI concierge, so you can get different recommendations, you can access different streaming services. It's all in this sort of one AI hub. You've also got AI voice IDs, so the TV will recognize who's talking and then give you personalized recommendations. But also new in the AI hub and the Gallery Plus menu is the ability to create your own AI-generated wallpaper. Just give it a prompt and after a few seconds you get a completely unique wallpaper for your TV. The G6 also gets LG Shield, which is a combination of hardware and software to keep your personal data safe on the TV. So lots of AI stuff, some more useful than others, but because this TV is part of LG's WebOS Renew program, you'll be able to update the software for free for up to the next 5 years. Oh, and yes, you can turn off the advertisements on the home screen in the settings menu. Now I have my PC and my PS5 hooked up here, and gaming on the G6 is just incredible. I mean, 4K up to 165Hz on PC, VRR with G-Sync and FreeSync Premium, and of course being OLED, we have almost instant response time, and playing in the game optimizer mode keeps input lag to a minimum by turning off all the background processes. And unlike some older generations of OLEDs where game mode would noticeably dim the screen, the G6's higher brightness makes this the brightest and most vibrant gaming TV I've ever tested. It is a genuinely incredible TV, it really is, but OLEDs aren't for everyone when it comes down to sort of budget and size requirements and brightness and what kind of room you're using it in. There are other options, and I've got one. You see, when Mrs. TechJap said no more TVs because we already have one, I said, well, we don't have a Micro RGB TV. This is the 86-inch LG Micro RGB Evo AI MRGB96. Because OLEDs are kind of like their own thing, right? With each pixel being self-lit, self-emitting. But the vast majority of TVs are LED. They use like an LED backlight. And over the last few years, they've got a lot better. We've gone from LED to mini LED. But now we have this brand new Micro RGB technology where we have essentially thousands of dimming zones. Not tens, not hundreds like you had with mini LED. Thousands, boosting the contrast compared to regular LED TVs, giving us much higher brightness, more precise, more accurate color. This is actually really exciting because it's the first in a whole new category of TVs from LG. This of course also runs with the latest WebOS 26 software as part of the Renew program, and it also gets the same flagship processor. But importantly, this chip, in addition to handling all the AI super upscaling and making everything responsive and giving us all the AI picture pro modes, but also the dual AI engine helps to control all these thousands of dimming zones, a technology that LG is calling Micro Dimming Ultra, so you get the most precise lighting, the best contrast, and crucially minimal blooming. Now, being bright and punchy is great, but also you want precision and accuracy of color, especially when you're spending this kind of money, which is where this new high-purity RGB spectrum display comes in, which covers 100% of the DCI-P3, the BT2020, and the Adobe RGB color spectrums. So this TV has incredibly accurate colors. Plus you have Dolby Vision, HDR, and Filmmaker Ambient mode. This uses ambient light compensation to essentially adapt to your room. So what you're watching is as close to how the filmmaker intended it to be. Very nice. It's also earned iSafe and sustainability certifications, and it has proper gaming chops. But hang on, there's something else that makes it stand out when it comes to gaming. Because while it shares the same 165Hz refresh rate when connected to a PC, you've got the same FreeSync Premium Pro, ultra low latency Bluetooth if you're pairing headphones with this, but also we have this motion booster. This is the first time we've seen this, and this actually can dynamically boost the refresh rate up to 330 Hz, although it does drop the resolution down to 1080p. So essentially you can have either 4K 165 or 1080p 330, which could be really cool if you're playing fast-paced games, and it can help reduce motion blur. The MRGB96 here also gets LG's new AI hub. With the multi-AI search, with the AI concierge, voice ID for automatic profile switching, you've got the AI chatbot for support, and of course the AI picture and AI sound wizard, and all accessible via the dedicated AI button on the AI Magic Remote. And this also has LG Shield, keeping your data safe. And so if you're looking for a big, bright, vibrant, punchy TV that does not compromise at all on the color accuracy and the precision of the colors and all the other bells and whistles, then one of these could be right up your street. But with all that said, remember, good audio, good sound, turns your TV into a proper home theater. And with that in mind, LG also very kindly sent over their latest flagship sound suite with the H7 Dolby Atmos soundbar. I've got 4 M7 wireless surrounds and a W7 wireless 8-inch subwoofer, creating what LG says is a 13.1.7 channel Atmos system. Not too shabby. But the really clever part is they all work together using Dolby Atmos Flex Connect, giving you more flexibility for where you put your surround speakers. They don't have to be in this perfect symmetry at the same height and the same distance from your TV, and then the sound adapts to your room. But you also get LG's Sound Suite AI, which means you can configure up to 50 different setups of their speakers. The TV with this sound system is just incredible. So 2 excellent TVs. One is not better than the other, they're just different propositions. And if you want to find out more, I'll put links to both of these in the description below. As always, the question is, when you get a new TV, what's the first thing you watch? Let me know in the comments.